Top 10 secret lesson 2. What is your mind and how does it control your destiny? In order to master your life, you must understand how your mind works. You must also understand living life via the 5 senses versus the 6 intellectual factors: imagination, reason, perception, intuition, the will, and the memory. We're going to go into detail on the faculties of the mind in a later lesson. Reasoning is the ability to choose your thoughts. Your will, you've got to develop your mental strength. And developing your mental strength, you must use the will. The will is your mental faculty that gives you the ability to hold one idea on the screen of your mind without any other distractions. It's what keeps you home on a Friday night to study. It's absolutely essential that you learn the ability to concentrate and focus on your goal. Perception. I want to give you an example of this. I'm certain that you'll agree that your attitude is an influencing factor on your success in all areas of your life, and perception of a situation will determine your attitude of that situation. Each time you alter your point of view, your perception changes. Two individuals who are looking at the same situation but are in disagreement should look at the other person's perception. Try to change your situation by changing your perception. For example, have you ever seen the logo on a FedEx vehicle? Can you see the arrow in between the E and the X? If you've never seen the arrow, Google FedEx and see if you can see it. Now, your brain can only focus on one thing at a time. You can either see the word FedEx or you can see the arrow, but you cannot see both. I learned this lesson from John Asraf. He taught me this at the Principia Oven, and it really opened up my world. Imagine if you can only see one thing at one time, that there's a whole world out there that you cannot see. So you have to realize that to live through the 5 senses, working with your sight and your smell, it's just very limiting. Use the faculties of your mind, learn to develop them. That's the key. Top secret lesson number 3, how the laws of the universe will change your life immediately. Now that you understand your mind and the power that it holds, you must sharpen your higher faculties so you begin to have predictable results. Everything you want is possible. As you study this material, you just become more aware. You learn to see the positive things in your mind. So the laws of the universe that I want to talk about, there's so many. There's hundreds of them, but the law of attraction, polarity, rhythm, relativity, cause and effect, and law of physical manifestation. Law of attraction, if your thoughts have certain frequencies, and the things that we attract to ourselves are on that same frequency. So since like thoughts attract like things, you notice that when you're tuned into positive thinking, you attract more positive things. Just like when you get out on the wrong side of the bed, you usually have more and more things snowballing. And so when you have a bad day, it just keeps getting worse. How do you stop this negative thinking? You have to learn not to hang out in that space very long. Try to think about something you really want. If you are having a bad day, just switch that thought and think about something that you want and focus on the good. If you want a parking space and you're driving around, try to attract that parking space to you. Just have an expectant attitude. It takes practice, practice, practice. But with time, you learn to expand your mind and other things will be attracted to you. The law of polarity. Everything in the universe has an opposite. If something happens in your life that's bad, it also must contain some good. If there's something a little bad, it also must be a little good. The trick is to look at the good side of something when you're in the middle of something bad, and I know that's hard to do. So if something bad happens, try to see the good in the situation. There's a learning opportunity in every single thing that happens to us. Practice, practice trying to see the good in all situations. So If something bad happens, what do? Do you go on Facebook and do you start talking about your horror story? Do you call up all your friends? I know it feels so good to vent, but you'll never win if you keep talking about your negative situations over and over again, because you're going to attract another one and another one. It keeps snowballing. So try to stop that situation. The law of rhythm.